Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Japanese Grand Prix on the day where history can be made, because England in approximately 55 minutes will be playing in a World Cup semi-final for the first time since 2018 for a chance to enter the World Cup final, which they haven't been in since the glorious day in 1966 where they defeated the West Germans 4-2 after extra time thanks to a hat-trick from one Jeff Hurst. We are here now in Japan as we go with Naris, who is weaving up to 130R. Back-to-back race winner this season, only one who have won so far this season after taking 2 victories with a margin of over 10 seconds as he prepares for his first lap here at Suzuka in that Audi. As he goes down into turn 1. Obviously this is a more well-known track, so I know a few more turn names, so I can be more specific. So now into turn 1, where is the S, as he climbs up the hill on the S's, left, then a right, and then another left, and then another right, as he has Red Fire Tiger in the way for him. Last week's P4 is now in through Dunlop and into the two Degnas. Degna 1, which is normally quite flat, Degna 2 is where you apply the brakes, up into the hairpin, where it's very straight. Well, it's a very risky braking zone because one lock up and you're in the gravel. Down now, a little flat out curve before Spoon. Earlier this year we saw Ollie Behrman have a bit of a scary crash here. Now he got the Spoon curve, hit the curb. Don't ride that one or it can send you out into the gravel and in the wall. Now you got another straight mode down into 130R. Used to be one of the most fearsome corners on the Formula 1 calendar. Now it's just a kink down into the Casio triangle with Naris. He's purple sector 1, purple sector 2, but that's what happens when you're the only one to start or finish a lap. Up to line, 10% battery, up to the start finish straight. It's a 28.2 for the Audi, as drivers will now be starting their flying laps behind Naris, who was Stelios, who was on his flying lap, so he will at most go second, as he has invalidated, so there will not be a lap produced by the second Audi. Behind him you've got Sasaras, who I don't know, I need to pull up the last week's standings because I might be completely wrong with everything. Sasaras up to second, 3/10 off of Naris. As now I just check the race results from last week so I don't make any more stupid errors. There's a yellow flag at the hairpin where you got Venaris slowing down for Red Fire Tiger. There's just checking last week's race results. Oh no, I was a bit wrong. So what happened last week was, if it lets me view them for more than 10 seconds, I'll just scope out. So Andreas is, I believe this is Andreas's first appearance this season in the Haas. So hopefully he can hit a pace running. Sasserot. Who is that? That's the Cadillac of Frankie up to the line. Frankie goes third at 28.6. And we missed Blitz's lap. He set a 130.7. Might have just been a rapid fire banker for him. Because look at last week's race results. So obviously we got Naris winning by 11 seconds. Then you got Frankie in second, delivering Cadillac's first podium in EXFL Tier 1. And then Red Fire Tiger, who I said finished fourth, he finished third after nearly doing a full Lewis Hamilton cosplay in the pit lane at China. Fourth was Sasaras, fifth was Jaden, sixth was Danny, who's not here today, And that was last week's race result, as more people will now be going to the start-finish straight. We've got Froggy, who I think will be the next person to finish their lap. We missed Jaden's lap. He set at 28.7, so you went behind Frankie. There's Froggy locking up into the Casio triangle. Don't invalidate. It's a very easy corner to invalidate, considering how much you have to bite the inside curve. Up to the line for Froggy. Froggy goes 6th. It's a 1:29.0 for the Red Bull. Is there any more drivers on fast laps? Can Harris be on a fast lap? Don't think he is. Oh no, he is. He's 2/10 faster in Sector 1 than his first attempt. What happens in Sector 2 for the Audi? He's still up, 1.5 tenths purple in the middle. Now Casio triangle awaits the Audi again. Currently on provisional pole. Can he extend that advantage? Up to the line with the Audi. Championship leader. He extends his lead at the front by nearly 2/10 of a second. It's a 28.0. Is behind him. No one on a flying lap. Actually, Blitz might be on a flyer, but I'm not sure. Let's look at his purple middle sector, or middle sector in general. He's 2/10 up, so a little bit of improvement for the guy currently sat in P7. 1.7 seconds off of his nearest competitor. Up to the line for the V-Carb. And it stays P7. It's a 3.5 tenth improvement, so he edges closer to his nearest competitor, but he's still a long, long way away. I think Antras is the next person who's going to be on a fly, but I'm not completely sure. Up to the first sector split for the Haas to 32.3. I think that's 1/10 off of Naris's fastest sector one. However, I could be suffering from memory loss. So the Haas. So it's currently a GFO sandwich. It's an Audi sandwich as well. The Haas now prepares to go into spoon curve. Make sure you don't. It's miss, ride, miss, and then don't ride. It's now down into 130R with the straight line mode, blasting any battery that's left within the engine of that Haas into Casio. 280 kilometers an hour. Upshifting for stability. Now up to the line. Or at least now we're up to the line for the Haas. Where does he go? He goes P6. It's a 1:29.003. Beats out his countryman by 52 thousandths of a second. He'll be the next person to start a lap. Or it'll be actually Stelios finishing a lap, so we'll finish with his on board. Last driver to currently not finish a lap, so where does this put the Audi? The Audi goes 5th. It's 28.6. Leapfrogs Jaden as the latter is starting his next attempt. The next person to actually be properly on a fly will be Red Fire Tiger. He's purple in the first sector. Where could this put the Ferraris? Ahead of him, Sasaras, ahead of him on track. Behind him in standings, Sasaras is 3,000 behind Red Fire Tiger. Could he potentially dwindle that gap and overtake the Ferrari, who is also on a flying lap into Spoon Curve now? A lot of battery conserving. Obviously, I can't tell whether or not the drivers are using like what sort of throttle inputs, because believe it or not, EA cannot comprehensively make a game. Into the middle sector, it's improvement by over 1.5 tenths for Red Fire Tiger. Where will this put him as he very shakily approaches this Casio triangle, nearly sideways, blasting the battery up to the line? Where does this put the Ferrari? Up to the line. He improves by 0.111, but stays well, he was P2, but he dropped down to P3 because Sasras improved. P set a 1:28.286. We missed Jaden up to the line. He goes P5. It's 1:28.662. It's a 300ths improvement. As now 5 minutes to go. I missed Froggy's lap time. He went to P7. 1:28.9. Will there be any more drivers finishing their laps? Frankie apparently purple in the middle sector, but now he's got no battery to spare. Into the Casio triangle. Not shifting up. Very ballsy with the traction up to the line. Where could this put the Cadillac? Up to the line. It's P4. He did improve the time, but not the position, as he is now 23 thousandths behind Red Fire Tiger in the Ferrari. As more people start to. Meanwhile, Blitz improved by 0.3 of a second to. Improved time but not position. He still sits 1.3 seconds behind his nearest standing rival. Just trying to see, is anyone actually going to be on a flying lap? No, so everyone else is now going to be peeling into the pit lane to prepare for final attempts as they aim to decide the grid for the Japanese Grand Prix here at Suzuka. Obviously, this year the race was won by Kimi Antonelli in the Mercedes, and he beat out Oscar Piastri in the McLaren. And then in third place, we witnessed Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Obviously, this time round, we don't have McLaren, so maybe the fate of P1 can repeat itself, and we could see a Mercedes win at Suzuka, or we could see the fate of Charles Leclerc P3 happen, and have Red Fire Tiger in third. Regardless, we've still got a lot to decide. I can't tell, was Blitz going for another improvement? I don't know. I'll up to line with Blitz. Where does this put him? He improves by 0.2 again, but he's still in last place with a 1:30.138. People are now starting to leave the pit lane for the final runs as Andreas jumped the gun, so he's going to be the first one to properly finish his lap. So, you know, he might have actually left the pit lane early to try and get 2 runs in case he messes up the first, or they're telling by his fuel count of 2.3 laps of fuel remaining. Probably not. Through the S's with the Haas. P8 currently. Just under a tenth behind his nearest rival. First sector split, it's a 32.4. He's down in the first sector by 200ths, nearly 3. Is up into the hairpin. Risky braking zone, late braking. Try and clip the apex. Into Spoon, Now approaching. Don't right the curb. Flick the wheel. Got a bit wide. Very close to completely riding on that curb, which would have invalidated his attempt. Now into the second sector split. He's up by 400ths exactly. Where can this put the Haas, depending on his final sector? Into the Casio triangle. A left, a right, then a left. Third gear for stability. Up to line. Bit of a snap on the exit. Up to line. Where does he put him? He improves by 2/10. And it did improve him by position. It's a 28.8. However, I don't think he'll have enough time to complete another one. So he will now head himself back into the pit lane. Next person to start the lap will be Froggy, as he aims to improve on his P8 lap and potentially climb up the order in the Red Bull. I think narrowly missing out on points last week round. Yellow flags in Sector 2 as that was Frankie getting out of the way. More drivers flopping around. Froggy up to the line for the first sector split. He's up by a 10. There's more yellow flags as people are slowing down for their runs. Naris will start his lap now. Next person to start their lap will be Sasaras. Froggy into the hairpin. You know, I might have to switch to a different viewpoint for the start of this. So Red Fire Tiger, he is purple in the first sector according to the game. However, the game can sometimes be slightly inaccurate. Blitz is in the pits as Frankie's on his outlap. Can Frankie actually make it? Well, Frankie has made it considering he's just made it to the line. Naris up to the line. He's down in the first sector, barely. So he is currently part of band for band with his current personal best. As we go back to Red Fire Tiger in middle sector, through spoon, 60% battery, burn it down into 130R. As Jaden up to the first sector split, he's down by a 10. Next to first sector split will be Frankie. Red down in the middle sector. Frankie up in the first sector. As Antras has retired from the session. Stelios goes 5th, jumping Jaden. Red Fire Tiger, what can he do? Not much improvement in the middle sector. What can the Ferrari do on the Suzuka? He improves, but not by enough. He stays 3rd. Next across the line will be Sasaras. What can he do? He's been caught silent. He's purple in the middle sector for the Haas. What can he catch of Naris's final sector, or can he leapfrog the Audi to pole? We'll find out now. Up to the line with this Haas. The Haas up to the line. He is improved, but not by enough. Naris is in the pit lane. He's sure he's got pole. Jaden, he's down in the middle sector, so he's not unable to get pole. That leaves Frankie. Can he improve? He's up in the middle sector. Is it enough for provisional pole, or is it enough for pole full stop? Up to line. I think that's still P4 for the Cadillac. Yes, so Naris is 3 for 3. 3 for 3 on poles for the Audi. Well, that's your grid for today's race. You've got Naris and Sasaras, the Greek one too. One in the Audi, one in the Haas. And then Red Fire Tiger in 3rd. As drivers will now prepare to start the formation lap. I have enough time. It's a formation lap. I'm going for a drink.
Perfect timing, eh? I am back from getting a drink, and we can now watch the formation lap in peace. Anyway. Well, you know what, might as well. People are approaching. What is going on here? It's like the race itself. Naris is already disappeared into the distance. It's the formation lap. So I'm assuming Red Fire Tiger is just annoying everyone by like holding them up on the formation lap. As let's have a look at the strategy. Top 2 on mediums, 3rd, 4th, 5th on hards, 6, 7, 8 on mediums, and then P9 Blitz trying to use the electric start, trying to blitz his way through the field on a set of softs. Zing. Yeah. Okay. 1 disqualification from qualifying. So 1 red light, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lights out and away we go for the Japanese Grand Prix. Got Naris on pole, Tassaras in 2nd. Naris with another electric start. Speaking of electric, Blitz is already challenging Andreas for P7 around the outside. Is unable to do so though. He's got Froggy back up his inside. Falls back down to 9. Very laggy. The Red Bull is order maintained for the top 4 as Jaden managed to leapfrog Stelios off the line using his medium tyres to Stelios' hards. Is now down into Degna 2 with the race leader. Drivers still relatively in shape, like no one going for anything stupid. Bit of a lock up there, nothing serious. Jaden trying to look very closely up to the inside of Frankie. Wasn't able to pull alongside sufficiently, so now using the boost battery into the spoon, down the inside of the Cadillac, using his medium. So now Jaden has overtaken 2 hard runners on his medium tyres, using them to good avail. He is now potentially on the chase for P3 from Red Fire Tiger, as he has lost a second to the cars in front, which may prove costly considering boost mode is such a useful measure of this game's overtaking system. However, he has got back into it, so everyone apart from race lead of Naris will have boost mode for the start of lap 2. Lovely drink. Once again, Froggy very laggy. Heading into turn 1 and 2. Potentially Blitz not going for an overtake for his own safety, so he doesn't get absolutely whacked into the stratosphere. Nope, I was going to say something. No. Here we go, Stelios, down the inside of Spoon Curve, using boost, using his Audi compared to Frankie's Cadillac. Now, 50% boost, down into 130R. He's not able to, well, he's not using it the same way Frankie is. He's definitely preserved to use some on the start-finish straight, as Jaden now doesn't have boost mode after being out of a second from the top three. So now Frankie could have easy pickings on the Mercedes, both burning. However, one's got a higher disposal down the inside into turn one, and hards versus mediums, and Frankie gains back the position he lost going into Spoon a few laps ago. I mean, you can see, like, Suzuka is one of those tracks, well, where on this game, it's going to be very beneficial for the battery, because a lot of drivers are lifting through corners like Degner 1 and the S's anyway, so, like, adding a little bit incrementally, lap by lap. It also helps with the battery, but also helps with the fuel. So you see, for the third race running, we've got a lot of drivers, probably like half the grid, using under-fueling because of how the amount of lift and coast you're able to do throughout the Grand Prix. You've got a three-way fight building here for P5. Andreas got a little thrown, essentially, maybe not due to dirty air as much, but a poor run-up. Now into 130R. No moves will be made, which, to be fair, I mean, most moves are probably going to be made on the start-finish straight anyway. Stelios is eyeing up Jaden there. He's got boost. So Jaden does. Frankie doesn't. So here we go then. Jaden could replicate the move that happened to him a lap prior. Heading down the start-finish straight. He's already out of battery. He's closing. He's closing. Will he go down the inside? No. So he's saving it. However, he is having a cheeky look into turn two. He's not able to make anything of it. So potentially just making Frankie aware, like, I am here, I will overtake. Don't be slacking. You'll get a whacking. Why did I just say that? God, this... You can... Well, this is actually a change from what was happening previous races. Naris hasn't left everyone in the dust. The grid is still technically a chain, however, the chain is already broken on two parts. Obviously, we've got Frankie, who has been dropped by the top three, but also Blitz, who is 2 seconds behind the pack. But we'll get points anyway. I mean, you got a bit of a bum drafting here from Stelios, trying to make himself aware to Jaden's outside. Frankie lifting into 130. Oh, look how the drivers have closed up. Jaden around the outside of Frankie. Can he make the move stick? Frankie throws the defensive shape side by side through the Casio triangle. Jaden's able to make the move stick. Does he have boost? No, he doesn't. So Frankie might be able to have easy pickings again. It's a five-way fight for P4 here. As Frankie Jaden has completed the move, and it was quite a stunning overtake, I'll tell you, Despite, most of it being done because of Frankie's lifting and coasting, it's still a nice move. I mean, around the outside of the Casio triangle is a choice move, I'll tell you. That has allowed the top three to disappear by a further second, so potentially double-edged dagger that fight was in terms of the final race result. It's the case of conflicting strategies overlapping, as Froggy is surpassed by Andreas, so Froggy overtook Andreas and Andreas overtook him. Stelios trying to go around the outside of Spoon, goes off the track, so the move probably wouldn't have been allowed anyway. But got a few overtakes going on, which is not what could be said earlier on in the season, as at the front we might have an overtake for the lead here. Naris has been Naris has had Sasaras close up to him, as behind Stelios has also been closing up. However, I don't think anything will happen at the front, as the gap between third and fourth has increased by another second this lap. Don't know if that's got anything to do with the fighting, but what might have to do with the fighting is Frankie not overtaking into turn 1. And this what was a 5-way fight could very close only turn into a 3-way fight, considering how Andreas and Froggy get about with fighting each other, as those two are starting to slowly become unstuck from the rest of the pack. Got 24 minutes till start the England game. Frankie, bit of oversteer on the exit of the hairpin. Now he's got the Audi of Stelios, very keen to overtake, 60% boost. He's going for the Bearman move. He goes around the outside, now turns to the inside, and it's a very nice move for the Audi, who overtakes. It's hard on hard action, down and now onto back straight before 130R, where Stelios is incrementally gaining on Jaden. However, I don't think there'll be any defensive or offensive shapes thrown around, at least not until turn 1, as Frankie actually chose to go side by side of Stelios, and he overtakes around the outside again, which is another lovely move, which I didn't see, but albeit this fighting is definitely, you know, it's definitely putting a smile on the top three's face, because the gap is now 5 seconds to the podium, the provisional podium, and the midfield mayhem. So I need to charge my phone. That's probably something useful to do. Should we check it back? Have a check back onto the strategies, because oh, here we go then. So these are the strategies. So your leading hard runner is Red Fire Tiger, and to be fair, he is making use of those hards because he's within a second of the race lead. Oh, hang on, here we go. I say that gap's probably not going to change anyway as we go back to this fight. However, I am still keeping track on what's happening ahead. Frankie pulling alongside with Jaden side by side. One decides to back out so that they don't go side by side through 130R. However, Jaden is harvesting hard, and that allows Frankie to go around the outside of the exit of 130R. Side by side action still through the Casio triangle. Frankie shows Jaden he's there, and Frankie's able to complete the overtake, as now Stelios might have a go at Jaden, who went very wide on the exit of the final corner, and that could have potentially allowed for a potential overtake, as yellow flag. Sasaras has spun, and that allowed Red Fire Tiger to overtake into P2. So now the order of affairs is hard, medium, 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 soft. As the grid has certainly patched up a little. As most notably, oh, that's not hello. What the hell happened there? The three Greeks committing civil war. As any wing damage on any of the cars? I mean, Andreas might be struggling with traction a little, but that all got started when Stelios rode the curb after Degma 1, which unsettled the car, smashed into the gravel, and then ultimately smashed into Froggy's front wing. That was interesting. That might be investigated in the near future. As up ahead, Red Fire Tiger is within a second of the lead. However, that might not necessarily mean anything will happen of it. Any drivers into the pit lane? Any medium runners into the pits? No, so it will be a two-stop. That's not, you know, that's not being bartered. But the point is, whatever the point is, it has to be ignored, because Jaden had a look into the inside of turn 1 as we got the first 2 pit stoppers. You got Blitz, who I was expecting to be in much earlier, to be fair, as he pits off the soft tyre, as also Andreas goes from the mediums to the hards. As bloody hell, that chat's going insane. Regardless, let's just go back to scoping everything out, which might be useful to check pit stops. So, Andreas didn't have to change his front wing from that incident, so, you know, maybe the settings potentially come in to save him there. We are now over a third of the way into the race. It is now 22:08, which means the England game kicks off in 20 minutes. So hopefully these guys politely hurry up so that they can go enjoy for their own viewing pleasure. Although saying that, the majority of the people currently racing are not English, so they probably wouldn't give a Scooby. What happens, Frankie? Oh, that was close. That was very close. There's a half spin on the exit of the final corner, and that drops the Cadillac from 4th into 7th, as now he's side by side with Froggy for P6. Froggy, well, I don't think you can blame Frankie for that. That is, he has been lagging throughout this entire race, so that might just be a case of the lag, or DSIC, or whatever the hell happens. But yeah, Frankie, bit of a half spin on the exit of the final corner, very close to clobbering the right side of the left, one of the sides of his car into the pit wall, which would have almost certainly been side pod damage, which would have not been optimal for a track like this. Now, Stelios versus Jaden, it's hards versus mediums. I mean, my personal opinion, the mediums shouldn't even last this long. In my other personal opinion, hards suck around here. So you might see both of these two drivers finding themselves asking for help from their engineers in the next coming seconds. So here we go. Down the back straight, Stelios using a bit of boost mode. Jaden using whatever he's got left of boost mode in order to not be overtaken. Through 130 are the two drivers, because I'm just going to flick back to the start. So the top two don't pit. I might predict Sasaras might pit. Yeah, Sasaras is in. Might have got a bit of enhanced tyre wear from the spin out of turn 2, as these two now side by side. Stelios pulls to the inside and pulls clear before turn 1 even comes. Frankie overtakes the two drivers in the pit, Sasaras and Froggy. Sasaras in onto the hards from the mediums. There's so now 10 laps in, the only drivers to have not pitted are the top 5. Well, bloody hell. No fights really going on. So, I mean, I'm going to presume Naris is in this lap. Is he in? No. Red's not in either. So, some of these drivers really prolonging tyres longer than I thought was possible. Stelios is not in. Jaden is in. Is Frankie in? No. So, the penultimate remaining medium runner into the pits. And I think he will be behind Sasaras when he eventually comes across. But I don't think he'll be ahead of Andreas. Here we go. So the Haas now approaching the pit line. And he is look miles away, but that is not really a surprise considering before his pit stop, Sasaras was running third. Jaden, is he able to be ahead of the other Haas of Andreas? He is. So, Jaden in a Haas sandwich. Now, I assume he's also going for a 2-stop, or could even go, I mean, I don't know the tight way around here, I'm not Jesus. However, the closest fight we've really got is the fight between Red Fire Tiger and Naris. Red Fire Tiger on an 11 lap old hards compared to 11 lap old mediums on the car of Naris, back-to-back race winner, current championship leader, although that was probably certain if you win the first 2 races of the season. Down into 130R, the gap closes up to just under 4/10 as it goes back up now. Will one of these 2 drivers be making a visit to their mechanics now? One is, the car in the pits is Naris, so Red Fire Tiger takes the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix, as Stereos will probably jump his teammate in the process. As behind him, Frankie also stays. That's a good Frankie. Go ahead of the Audi. Frankie is ahead of the Audi. And I think Sasaras will be far too behind to be able to catch his GFO partner. As, well, he's got a lot of breathing distance, doesn't he? As, say that, he's got a little bit more breathing distance because Frankie's just spun on the exit of turn 2. Is there front wing damage on that Cadillac? A little bit, yeah. However, I need to go do something so you can have a nice onboard shot of Red Fire Tiger. I hope you enjoyed the lovely cinematic view you saw of Red Fire Tiger. Has now got a fight between Naris and Frankie. The 12 lap tyre offset in effect. And you can see it there, to be fair. On the exit at Degna 2, it's not even a challenge, as Naris storms up the inside and is now in P3. Ten minutes to go before the England game kicks off, so I might just whack it on the iPlayer on the cheeky cellular device. There we go. No. Oh no, there's there. Right, so I assume people like Red Fire Tiger is not pitting, no. Stelios is. Naris obviously won't, will Frankie? Into the pits he is, so... Oh, very close! And he's gone over the bite point, and it is a 10-second penalty for the Cadillac in their third race in EXFL, as Frankie absolutely obliterates the pit limiter as Blitz gets a free second for track limits. Well, trying to see, Froggy overtook Frankie for the point of thing. Antria, now we're just in for a 12 lap, 11.5 lap long game. Into the pits for Red Fire Tiger. Potentially, maybe. Oh, I'm a sidekick. Make sure you don't speed, though. Nice. 15 seconds. Is that enough around here? Might be enough, you know. We'll see anyway. Actually, it probably won't be. Naris. And he absolutely will fly by the Ferrari. The Ferrari might... Is he very comfortably in P2? Is he comfortably in P2? No, we might have a fight here on the exit. A fired up Sasaras in the Haas is behind Red Fire Tiger and a pressure their mediums, and now it's an 11 lap scrimmage for Red Fire Tiger to potentially disrupt of Naris' win streak and win his first race in the Ferrari colours. Further behind, you've got Antrias and Stelios in a train behind Jaden. Larpers. Regardless, the time is 7:53, which means well, it means what it means. Stelios got past Antrias on the fresher tyres. Might have been team orders for the GFO lot. However, now he's got free reign to rein Jaden in on the fresher tyres, the grippier tyres, and probably more consistent race pace. Because both drivers are using any boost they've got, but remember, the blue boost has a higher... like it allows for more battery to be depleted, which allows for higher speeds to be reached. As now through the Casio triangle once again, we've got a bit of a wide line for Stelios, probably trying to gain the momentum to overtake Jaden. However, that momentum clearly was badly used, as he even scrubs the grass on the way into turn 1. Very close into turn 2, however that is the difference in closing speeds and potentially in setup as well. Frankie set the fastest lap of the race with a 1:30.1. There's a... Oh. Red Fire Tiger, well this is really just a game of can Red catch Naris in time, or is it all for nothing again? Stelios lifting, I can't even tell if they're lifting, I'm just going basically guessing if they're lifting into Degna 1. Because I don't have an input on whatever their inputs are. So now through the hairpin, Jaden, he's got the light flashing, which means he is harvesting, which might allow for very eager Stelios. 4 laps fresher tyres, grippier tyres around the outside of the spoon, pre-spoon, and now is past in the spoon. Jaden showing he's there in the middle of the spoon. Now, without the same blue battery possibilities, I don't think the overtake will be possible. However, he is closing, Really look to the inside, Jaden. Jaden looks to the inside, he's very eager. He was very close to a collision though. He burned everything away. Now side by side through the Casio triangle, and that is a move well defended. However, that allows Stelios to pull alongside again, once again with blue boost. And with blue boost, can Stelios complete the overtake, still side by side, and side by side for no longer. There's 30 seconds ago, Naris begun lap 19 of 27. As the anthems have now been completed. Just trying to see if anyone's let's look at like warnings and stuff. So Naris, Nish, Red, Fire, Tiger, Nish, Sasharas, Nish, Stelios, 1, 2, 3. So I'm assuming one of them might have been a collision, which is reasonable. Well, Jane has closed into about 6/10 of Stelios. However, one will probably burn down 130R with the blue boost, so the gap will disappear anyways. Antrias and Froggy even have announced themselves onto the scene. Up ahead, Red Fire Tiger is closed in about 4/10 to race lead of Naris. So now 8 laps to go, and with a tyre offset, Red Fire Tiger could potentially see himself in the hunt. Ferrari versus Audi. It's a much hypercar rhetoric. It's a very hypercar rhetoric. However, right now, nothing about hypercars really matter because this is Formula 1, quote-unquote pinnacle of motorsport. As England line up to take photos for the semi-final of the FIFA World Cup. Blitz into the pit lane. On for a set of mediums. He is definitely announced to himself, you know, it will be last. Like, no amount of pushing. Maybe a late safety car, but no amount of pushing will gain positions. Froggy and Antras very close and personal. Very close to hitting each other on the exit, or the entry even. A lot of grass munching from the Red Bull, trying to potentially set up an ideal line into Spoon, and then straight onto 130R. Bit of an unsettlement as he bounces and rides curbs all over the place. Now, down 130R, he uses the blue boost, or use a little bit, into 130R now, and now the little straight into the Casino Triangle. I've been saying Casino this whole time, it's the Casio Triangle. Oops. Yeah, both good in their own way. As I say that, Andreas has spun and is now driving himself into the pit lane. So let's see what happens to the Haas. Is this potential rage quit or is this a tyre swap? It is a rage quit. So I was saying like 3 minutes ago, Blitz has probably announced himself like, yeah, it'll be last, it'll be P9. He's just doubled his points without even trying, so, you know, that's at least some points on the board for the V-Carb, who makes his second appearance in EXFL Tier 1 after missing China and debuting in Australia. Anyway. How did that one bloke in the interview say it? Come on, England! I might have given some people spiritual shock there. But who cares? Now, lap 22 of 27, 6 laps to go as kickoff is soon approaching. It's 8 o'clock here in Britain, in Miami, no, in Georgia even. Where is Georgia again? God knows, but it's the afternoon in Georgia as the players line up. It's Argentina to take the kickoff. And the second semi-final is underway. I'm saying this, I am supposed to be commentating a F1 race. As very close already, England pressuring Emi Martinez in the penalty area. As now we should probably focus back on both things at once. Got Guy Mowbray and Alan Shearer on comms. Obviously can't amount to the greatest commentator of all time. I'll tell you what, Red Fire Tiger, he's in the hunt. Like James Hunt. Except he's not the latter. Through the Casio triangle yet again. He is incrementally gaining on the Audi. He's currently embedded in an Audi sandwich. He's embedded in a GFO sandwich on top of that. There's he is 2.5 seconds away from the race lead. So, you know, I'm just going to check Naris's penalties. 1 penalty, and it all comes crashing down. Speaking of Red Fire Tiger, does he have any time penalties? He was plagued by him nearly in Japan. As we've got a free kick in the game. Let's see. Are the jokes true? Let's see. Jude Bellingham fouled by Gonzalo Montiel, I think that is. I know, amazing. Argentina actually been Argentina conceded a foul. Mental. It's up 23 of 27, meaning the next time Naris crosses the line, it will be 4 laps to go around here. And unless some sort of absolute insane event happens, I think we have met our podium sitters for the evening. As Argentina foul Elliot Anderson. And that's another foul conceded by Argentina, as that's Elliot Anderson clutching his neck in pain. There's already a fight going on. Talk about action already. As Messi that's number 25 being paraded away from the offence. What happened here? So, number 24 has just absolutely clobbered into Elliot Anderson's neck after a brawl with Messi. Enzo Fernandez committing the second foul of the game. Actually has conceded both fouls of the game so far. Oh, I'm in voice chat. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm gonna get fucking killed. Anyway. Oh, Red Fire Tiger with a bit of a snap before the pit lane. That was nearly another China moment where it could have all come crashing down at the hands of the pits. As we begin 3 laps before the end of the race. The gap is 2.5, so if Red Fire Tiger wants to catch, he needs to gained by over 7/10 of a second. A little bit of lag. I don't know if that's from me or him. I mean, in the wise words of Martin Brundle, isn't this absolutely magnificent, or whatever he said? Yeah, crash or something like that. So, I mean, I don't think any of the drivers currently will be fussed about missing the opening stage of this match, as I mean, I think drivers such as Frankie or Blitz have already cemented, you know, this is where we'll finish. So, you know, they're probably just driving for the sake of driving. Froggy, he might catch Jaden, although the tyres are both in a state where catching probably isn't the mainstay. Red Fire Tiger once again struggling with traction on the exit of the final corner. As we begin the penultimate lap of Naris in the lead, so down into turn 1 with the championship leader, who currently extends his championship lead from 50 points to 75, a clean sweep of 3. Now I'm no expert, but this might be one of the first times this has ever happened where a driver has gone from the start of the season to a free from free. This might be, I mean, probably not a record considering some of the caliber of drivers who have raced in Tier 1 in this league. As Elliot Anderson has been fouled again, as there's yellow flags, and that is Frankie spinning. So that reinforces the idea of he will finish P7. Now, through at most drivers in the middle sector, Red Fire Tiger slowly been gapped from Naris, as the latter, in about 15 seconds time, will begin the final lap of the Japanese Grand Prix, which it won't be a light to flag victory. As Declan Rice lines up to take the first corner of the game. Minute 7. The final lap has begun. And I think... Jaden takes avoiding action. Cuts the final chicane. There's a bit of a little argy-bargy in the penalty area for Argentina, as Jaden has lost a little bit of time to the car behind, as the corner is cleared out, and very nearly an Argentina counter-attack. Froggy is now just outside of a second to Jaden, so potentially might see an overtake for P5 at the end of this race, which completely throws the idea of me, whatever I said. However, he might look... Froggy might run out of fuel, so might Jaden. No, Jaden will be fine. Froggy, he's got 0.4 laps of fuel remaining. Now, believe me, there is not 0.4 laps of the race remaining, as these two are getting ever so close. So, could we see a potentially last lap overtake be taken away by the fact that one has no fuel? Looking on the steering wheel for Froggy, burning the battery, but the fuel, it's on 0.1. So, by the time he comes out of Spoon, there we go, Froggy, bit of oversteer. 0.1, 0.0. Froggy is out of fuel as Naris. I completely missed it. He wins Japanese Grand Prix. Red Fire Tiger in second. Sasaras in third. Stelios in fourth. Jaden fifth. And Froggy, after being 4/10 behind Jaden just 10 seconds ago, has run out of fuel. And he's got a 10-second penalty for crossing track limits. That will surely get removed. This is a very much Hamilton 2020 moment where he won on 3 wheels. I think he will be fine though. Froggy will be fine. He has crossed the line in P6. Jaden did Frankie in 7th after speeding in the pit lane. And then Blitz in 8th, to absolutely no one's surprise. He's definitely happy to be here. There's right. Oh, is he? I mean, he's definitely just. As I quickly want to leave. Okay, so there we go. There's your race result. I'm just gonna quickly back out. I have been the commentator. I am going to end this stream quite briefly because I actually want to enjoy